Hello, it's Jenny from Ginger Ninja Crafts. How are you? I hope you're doing well. I am here because it is the 5th of the month, and so it's time to share our fancy fold card of this month, which is a concertina pop-up wow card. Now, that's a bit of a mouthful, but and this one, I have to say, is a wee bit out of my comfort zone, but I'm here and I'm going to try my bestest and we'll see how we go on. And if it turns into a mess at the end of it, I can only apologise, but keep watching to see if it is a wee bit of a car crash. So I've cut some panels and I have watched the tutorial which was circulated in our group. It was by Jan B Cards, and she makes beautiful cards, but she is much more, I think this is much more her bag than mine, but anyway, I'm here. This is tricky. So for the base card, you're going to need one piece of cardstock measuring 8 1/4 by 5 3/4 now, and you're going to score that at 4 1/8, in other words halfway down the middle. So that's easy. Hey, that's easy. There we go. Got our card base. Now, I have taken a wee bit of a liberty with the tutorial because in Jan's card it was quite chunky with all the layers and things. So I have reduced some of the layers. So what she said was you needed 3 kind of mats to go with some patterned paper, 1 on the front and 2 inside. I am just doing that on the front, and on the inside I'm not having a mat, I'm just going straight with the patterned papers. So I have cut 3 pieces that measure 5 1/2 by 3 7/8, but only one of them is like the mat and 2 of them are the patterned papers, and I am just gonna stick these in as I go, so I don't get in too much of a fankle. I have gone with quite a light cardstock, this white card, which is going to be my mechanism and the mats and layers. And the paper that I'm using it's from the Works, I think maybe a year or 2 ago, Make and Create, and it is really lightweight. It's only 100 GSM, but they have some lovely patterns. So I'm gonna pop that on the front. And then I'm going to put my so these patterned papers are measuring the same as that white panel on the front. They are measuring 5 1/2 by 3 7/8. But that patterned piece on the front, this piece measures 5 3/8 by 3 3/4. So I've just missed a layer on the inside. Okay, now for the main insert of the card, you need a panel that measures 8 times 5 1/2. And the first thing I'm going to do, post-its for myself everywhere, is score down the middle at 4. So it's, oh, what am I doing? Is that right? Okay, it's a wee bit messy, but it's fine. It won't really be seen. So score it down the middle at 4. I think I moved it there. Now, this bit is a wee bit complicated, I think. So you've got your centre line there, And what you want to do is from the center line, you want to measure halfway down it, so that is let me see, what have I done with my ruler? Found my ruler. So you want to measure halfway down, so it's 5.5, so that's what, 2 3/4. So you just want to make a wee mark there, but what you want to do is measure out from the center. I'm just going to half an inch from that center. So that's your, this is half an inch from the center, and this is halfway down the card. Then on both sides you want to measure 1.5 inches from the top and the bottom, and at the other side 1.5 inches from the top and the bottom, and then you're going to draw a line from this edge to that point, and this edge to that point, this edge, all right, there we go. And I'm just going to cut out these panels here. Like so. Okay, so I'm going to put that bit aside. I'm just going to, not sure that any of this is really going to be visible, but there we go. So that is the kind of main insert piece, which is going to go in here. Now, the other major pieces you're going to need are a piece of card which is 9 inches by 3 inches, and a piece of card which is 4 inches by 2 inches. So this 9 inches by 3 inches, along the long side, we're going to score it at 1.5, 3, 4.5, 6, and 7.5. And the 2 by 4 inch one on the short side, we're going to score at 1/4 inch, half an inch, 1 1/4 inches, and 1 3/4 inches. Okay. Now, this 9 by 3 piece, I am going to score it mountain, or not score it, fold it and burnish it at a mountain a valley, a mountain, a valley, and a mountain. And then I'm going to cut it in half lengthways so that it's 1.5 inches. Now, my cutting board is not very good for these. Anything under 2 inches, it's really not very good. So I am going to do it old school with that. Just pencil line it. Got it. So now that is 2 strips. Now this one, let me remind myself. Okay, so for this 2x4 piece, you're going to fold it. So you do mountain, valley, and then on the other side you do mountain and valley. So you get this kind of lopsided piece. We're trusting the process. Now we want to cut this into 4 1-inch pieces, so it's easier obviously to do that scoring on this larger piece than on 4 smaller pieces. So trust the process, Jenny. Okay, cut these. Now, these pieces we want some patterned paper on, and Jan does matting and layering, but I have decided against that just because it is it adds to the bulk. So I have cut 12 pieces. I think these measure 1 1/4 by 1 1/4. And I'm going to just stick them on and then I'll come back to you. Okay, here we go, by the magic of pausing and so that is all now stuck on. So these are going to, basically it's going to be something like this and this, I think. So I need something on these panels here. Now I have to say I got a bit lost at this point in the tutorial. I got very confused. So I think I might go my own way with this. And what I am going to do is I am going to trace the outline and then just cut it down slightly. That's what I'm going to do. Sorry if that is not the correct way to do it, but so I'm going to go with this sort of red. It's got a little bit of pattern but not too overwhelming, because I have gone with all of the patterns and probably have too much. So let me cut this out. And then I'm going to cut it down a little and hope that it fits. I think Jan's tutorial was excellent, but I think it's my brain fog was had me scratching my head at this point. What am I doing? What am I doing? Oh, I don't understand. Anybody else having that problem? It's my age. I know it's my age. So that's going to go on there. So let me I'm going to draw the lines to make it. Rather than eyeball it with my scissors. So if I do it this way, I can get an idea if I've kind of gone, if it's sort of even Stevens or not. I think that looks not too bad. So is this? Right, so just to do the middle bits. And then what I think I will do is I will draw around this. Make this my template for the other side. Save having to do this process again. So that's going to go on there. And then there. So let me see if I have it this way's the right way up. It's got little Christmas trees on it, so there is a right way up and a wrong way up. So if I then, that's the trees facing the right way up, and that's the trees facing the right way up. Line that up with the bottom. We hope this is all going to work out okay. Right. Okay, so you don't need to watch me glue that on. I will do that off camera. Okay, confession. I did this one upside down. So I've just redone it so they're both the right way up. So let me get this all out the road. So I've got my 4 little hingey pieces. I've got my top and bottom, I've got my card base, and I've got my main insert piece. So let's see what's next. Okay, so you've got your little hinges, and they've got you see there's like a short side and a long side. So we're going to put, basically we're going to put one at the top and one at the bottom on both sides of the centre, and the short side is going to be on the inside and the long side is going to be on the outside. So I'm just going to put a wee bit of my glue, and I'm going to line up with my paper there, and then just short of the top, like so. So again, I've got the short side and the long side. So the short side is going inside, and I'm just going to line that up with that center, and then just short of the, just a little gap at the bottom there. So I'm going to glue these down, and then I'm going to pause it while that glue has a chance to take. So the short side on the inside, and again the short side on the inside and the long side on the outside. So let me pause that while I just let that glue take. Okay, so I think that's taken now. So you've got these little, I called them hinges, I suppose they're more like a little spring really. There we go. So now we're going to pop this piece on the top. So again, I've got my trees facing up the right way for once, and I'm going to just put some glue onto these little hingy bits, or springy bits. And then what Jan did is she put a little bit of glue along the sort of spine. I don't know if that makes any difference, but I'm gonna try. So now I'm gonna, is that the right way up? Is that the front? Yep. Okay, so that's glued there, and then I'm gonna fold that over, and I'm gonna, so that's the front of the card. Let that glue take, and when you open it, these bits open. So again, I'm just going to let that, hold on to that for a little minute and let it set, put you on pause. Okay, so that's had a chance to set. So now we're going to pop, these are the little pop-uppy bits. So there's one for there and one for there, and all I'm going to do is glue the edges. So, oh, see, I've done it the wrong way, but that's okay. Should be like that. So, these don't really have a top and a bottom. You can see the paper is multi-directional, so that bit doesn't really matter. So I'm going to put glue on and start at the bottom, stick it on there so it's lined up with that side and the bottom, and let that sit. I do have a wee paperweight. I could do it as Monica does. Pop the paperweight on. There we go. So this is also the wrong way. Oh, thought I was being so clever. Right, so let's do the top one as well. Again, if you've got directional paper, you're going to want to make sure it's facing the right way, so that's in line with the top and the side, and there we go. Now the easy bit to do for this is just to both sides, a bit of glue, and then just So line that one up. Line that one up. Close it over and hold it. Now, the only thing left to do really is to decorate, and I am not going to make this video any longer. So, make sure nothing's... So what I will do is I will decorate it off camera and then show you the finished result. But that is it. Tell me, are you going to give it a bash? See, probably everybody else is much more comfortable, but that was quite a... Maybe it's just my brain at the minute, but that felt a bit tricky. Anyway, there you go. So it is a concertina pop-up wow card. So keep watching to see the finished result. So here you go. The finished result. I just added a sentiment and a bow on the front, and then inside some of these, I had a couple of these little vellum poinsettias that I'd made and some stars, and that is it. So I doubted myself that I would manage to complete it, but here we go. I have, so I should be proud of myself. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you are going to have a go with this one. Probably not based on my video, because I think I've been a bit negative. But the other ladies, I'm sure, will make much better cards. They are definitely more talented with the fancy folds than I am. So yeah, I can't wait to see what everybody else has made. But thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend. Oh, no, by the time this goes up, have a great week. Thanks for watching.